Hey guys, today we're gonna use AI to come up with an eye-catching logo, and then we're gonna print it using the DTG. I just found out my son is quite the entrepreneur. He came up with the idea of starting his own car wash business. So I said, you know what, let's make you some shirts. First, we're gonna select which AI we're gonna use. There are some free ones and there are some that you have to pay for. So looking at the screen right here, I can see that in this page, we have 5 types of AIs that you can use. Some of them are paid, some of them are free. You have a couple here. You have Image Creator, DALL-E or Dale-3 by OpenAI, Image FX, Dream Studios, and Dream by Wombo. So these are just a couple of the ones that you can use. Behind this, you can see that we have Midjourney, which is a Discord AI, and we have the Gemini from Google, which is also an AI. So I already started running some examples through it, and I want to show you how really easy it is. You don't need to be a designer, a graphic designer, to come up with these images. So if you have an idea, or if you can articulate and let the computer know around what you want, it's a great way to generate these AI images so that you can print them on a shirt. So this is exactly what we're going to show you today. So let's start with some of these. In the Midjourney, I started to ask it to do some things for me, okay? And so let's start from the beginning. Here, I asked it to make a luxury car wash logo with Kai's Platinum Auto Spa, and it gave us some of these examples. They're really cool, but on some of them, the words are misspelled. So I wanted Kai's Platinum Auto Spa only, but here it repeated it. We're just gonna keep trying until we get what we want. So sometimes the images are hit or miss, but the more you tell it, it starts to manifest and make an image that you like, and then you can keep it. So we're gonna start from the beginning. Now, the thing about these AI images is that sometimes once you start it, that's all you're gonna get. Meaning, if you try to ask it to do it again later on, you might not get the same image. So make sure that whatever you like, you save it before you move on to the next version of it. So the Midjourney is a paid version and Gemini is a free version. So it's very specific what you want it to say. Sometimes when you use words, it's going to be a little bit more difficult and the AI might have a little bit of a hard time trying to figure it out. So we're going to start with just a regular car wash. So in the Midjourney, you're going to put a /, you're going to type imagine, and then you're going to pick this prompt right here. So from here, you see the little cursor is flashing, and I'm going to put create a logo with car wash. Just like that. I'm going to separate it. I'm going to be very vague and see what it does. Let's see what it comes up with and hit enter. While that one's doing that, I'm going to do the same thing with Gemini. I'm going to put the prompt right here. Create a logo with or about car wash, for a car wash. While we're waiting for the image to generate, I'm going to leave a link to a video called The 3 Must-Known Tips and Tricks for DTG and DTF and More in the card above and in the description below. Make sure you watch it after this video. So here are some of the examples that came up with Midjourney. Oh, look at that. I put a log. I didn't spell it right. Let me learn how to spell. Create a logo for car wash. All right, on the Midjourney side, you can see that we wanted a logo for car wash, and it gave us 4 options, and they all look really neat, but there are no words in them. In the Gemini side, you notice that, again, it kind of gave us a general idea of what the car wash looks like. These preliminary images look pretty cool, but now let's start adding words or text to see what it comes up with. All right, again, we're going to go / imagine. We're going to hit this, and again, this is the prompt one. So now we're going to go create a logo for a luxury car wash using, and the more detail you give it, the better it comes out. So we're going to put using the word Kai's car wash. So let's see what it does. And every single thing you have to quote it. Capitalize it because it's going to do it just like you'd say it. and enter. Let's see what it does. All right, now we wait. The moment of truth is coming. You can have a lot of fun with this. And again, you don't need to be a graphic designer to do this. This is super simple, and it'll give you a great rendition of what you might think, of what you might want, and let you have some choices to pick from. Okay, so let's let that finish, and we're gonna click on it. So notice how here it says it's a luxury brand. So you've got the Mercedes, the Alfa Romeo, we've got a nice Nissan right here. But in some of them, it added some extra words like Kai's Cars, Car Wash, and Kai's Car Wash. This one looks good. So on this particular one, it did a great job. Here it did a great, or no, it kind of misspelled the wash. Here it put a double I. So you can see it didn't quite do exactly what I wanted. So I'm gonna type again and say / imagine again. So there is a little bit of back and forth that you have to do with it until you get the one that you want. So on this one, look at that, Kai's Car Wash Wash. Here it says Kai's Car Wash. This is nice, but it really doesn't show you a car behind it. I didn't ask it. Here, this is a real nice one. Notice it did spell Kai correctly. It did give it to me in a circle, and it looks like a nice luxury Mercedes back there with some water on it. And here's a very simple one, Kai's Car Wash, but it didn't spell it correctly. So through my typings and things like that, I found the best image for me that I liked the most was this one right here. So I had plugged in, and let me just show you what I wrote. I put a luxury car wash logo with Kai's Car Wash, and this is what it came up with. What you do is you're going to just select the one that you want, which is, this is number 1, 2, 3, 4. You click it, it's going to upscale the image, and then it's going to end up giving you this image that looks like this. And then you can save, right click and save the image as onto your computer. Okay, now let's go to, and this is for the paid version, the Midjourney. So let's go to Gemini and see what we had. So we already saved this image, and this is the one that we're going to use for one. Let's see what the Gemini can do. So let me put the same exact thing in here. A luxury car wash logo with Kai's Car Wash. Let's see what it does. So here we have it. Look at that, Kai's Car Wash. That looks pretty cool. It did spell it correctly. Kai's Car Wash. That's really neat, but it's not really anything big and fancy. And then you can scroll through the images. Let's see what else it does. Let's start fine-tuning the search. Let's turn it into a circular logo. Let's see what it does. So it should take the things that you did before and just add to it. You don't have to retype everything. So here we have, now it's the same thing, and it did this, notice, but it added some extra words that we didn't want. So let's start again. And whenever you want, you can just download the image or the full-size image onto your computer. So let's try again. Let's say create a circular let's see what it does. So it gave us some really cool options, but none of them are spelled correctly. So, or this one is spelled correctly, but I'm not too crazy about that. I like the actual car. So let's make it put a 3/4 car. So I can always edit this using the words Kai Car Wash and include a 3/4 car in the middle. No, so right now I'm kind of letting it know what I want so that it can cater the image to what I'm asking it. You got to let it know what you want. Let's hit enter and let's see what it does. And you can modify your search and modify what you're asking it to do so that you can really tailor the image to what you want. All right, let's take the word circular out of it. Let's just make a luxury car wash logo. The 3/4 car in the middle. Let's see what it looks like. So you're gonna get a lot of different variations. You just have to pick the one that you like the best. All right, so these are some of the ones that I had come up with before. And here I put a create a vector car wash logo with no background at 300 dpi. And it came up with this image that was really kind of neat. I like that one. It's very old school, looks very vintage. So those are some things that you can pick. Again, you can spend a lot of time doing this, or you can spend very little time. It all depends what you want to do. But really, you don't need to spend too much time picking the design that you want. As long as you can just tell it what you want, it'll come up with some great ideas, and then you can go from there. And in this case, we're gonna go with the paid version, which is the this image right here. So once I have the image, I download it to my computer and I'm gonna open it. So here is the original image. Now, in order to remove the background from this image, I am gonna use another free software. And I believe we're gonna be leaving the links to these softwares in the description below so you guys can have an idea and you can click on them. So let's go here, and here is the background remover. So this is Remove BG, and you can upload the image to this. So when you hit plus, you can add the image that you want to remove the background. So let's go with this one, and we're going to upload it. And magically, you're gonna notice that all the background is going to be removed. So from here, you can download this version. Now, if you don't already have Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop, most people in this industry do it, but if you're not an expert and you're trying to find a way to do it without that type of program, there are many things that are offered free online that you can use. So this is an example of one of them. Now, if I chose to download this particular image in HD, which is 1024, it will cost me 1 credit. Now, you can purchase more credits or they give you the first one free. I'm not gonna use this credit. I'm gonna download the small version, the 500 by 500, just to see what it looks like. I might be able to upscale it a little bit, transforming it into a vector. But what we're gonna do today is we're gonna see what we can do with just what we have here. Now that we have our image picked out, we're gonna open it in Vivid Rip and rip it for the Vision DTF. We should be able to remove the background and everything else we need right on that software. Here we go. I've got my images on the USB stick. I'm gonna open it up with the Vivid Rip software. In the Vivid Rip software, make sure that you're under the Ricoma Vision printer. Once you have that, we're just gonna hit the plus and we're gonna pick the logo and open it. Now this is the one with the black background. I'm gonna make this about 8 inches tall. So the image itself, remember the whole box is gonna be a certain size, 10, but I'm looking to make this 8 inches. So that's about 8.6. I can deal with that, that's fine right there. Also, I'm going to center it and I'm gonna make it so that the top of the design is 3 inches away from the top so that when it prints on my platen, it prints out well. Or when it prints on the shirt, it prints out exactly where I want. So I'm gonna lower this until this edge, and I can see where my hand is over here. You can see the little line moving that way. So what I can do with this, I'm about a 1/2 inch away or a 1/4 inch away, so I'm gonna move just a little bit over. And here when the mouse is touching there, I'm right at 3 inches, and I'm going to center it one more time. Now, this is done so that you don't need to be an artist or a graphic designer. We can take out this black background and just expose the design, because we are gonna print this on a white shirt, or on a black shirt rather. So if I go to Tools, I can go to Knockout Black, and here I can set the transparency or the opacity as to how much of the black I want to remove. So if I go all the way over to the right-hand side, I can remove all the black. Now, once I remove all the black, I can print this out, and I do believe it's going to come out just fine if we just take out all the black. Now, we might lose some of the detail, but the black will fill in most of it. And again, this is just to make it nice and quick. So I'm going to click OK, and most of my black is gone. Even if we have a little hazy black on the background, it doesn't matter, because we're not going to be printing it you're not going to notice it on the shirt, and it's not going to make it so heavy on the shirt. We don't want to mirror it because it's going to go right on the shirt just as it is, because we're not printing it in reverse. So once we have this, we're just going to right click and print to file, and we're going to save it to Kai's car wash folder, and I'm going to save. Now we wait. Okay, so now that we have the image ripped, we're going to delete this one. We're going to add the image whose background was already removed. We're going to see how it behaves when we make it a little bit bigger, so that the car itself, or the logo, the circle, is approximately 8 inches. It doesn't have to be exact. That's a little bit too big. Let me just bring that down just a little bit. All right, so right there we can take our ruler, drag it from left to right, and we have approximately 9 inches for the smoke, but the actual image is about 8. So I'm fine with that. So we're going to center it again, and I'm going to make it lower so that it's about 3 inches from the neckline, because that's where I want my design placement to be. So we need to bring this down just a 1/2 inch, and I'll put my mouse again right here, and we're just about at 3 inches. And there we are, right at 3 inches. If you want to know more about how to place the design on your shirt, Take a look at this video in the card above in the description below, and it describes the secrets to how to do it perfectly every single time. Make sure you watch that. Now, we have the image centered, and now it's time to rip it. So we're gonna right-click, print to file, and this time we're gonna call it, the background has already been removed, but we're just gonna call it car wash. And it's gonna turn it into a PRN. Then we're gonna print out the shirt so you guys can see what it looks like. While we're waiting for this to rip, I'm gonna start gathering my supplies, go get the shirts so we can start printing them. All right, I got my heat press, the vision is ready. We're gonna be using these RTP shirts ready to print, so we don't have to pre-treat them, just to save some time. We're gonna lay these on the heat press, and remember, we have to press them once first. We have to get the moisture out of them, and that also flattens down all the little hairs on the shirt so that it can accept the print a lot better. We want the image to be 3 inches from the top, so we're gonna place it just like that. Now, the hoop on the platen has these little markers that let you know where the center of the shirt is. So we're gonna use the label as the center marker of the shirt. We're gonna come down just a little bit and let it fall. So that's my center. And we're just gonna tuck the excess shirt inside. And there we go. Once the capacitors have signaled to the print head that the job is done, the platen will then extrude from the machine. At this point, it's time to cure the image. The way you cure the image is you're going to press it 3 times at 330 degrees for 30 seconds. So that means we're gonna press it 3 times for 30 seconds at 330 degrees. So the temperature number gives it all away. 330, 3 times 30. 330, 3 times 30, so that you remember that. You're gonna press the shirt 3 times, 30 seconds each, with about a 10 to 20 second break in between so that the image can cool. All right, and that is how you cure your design. All right. The one on the left-hand side is the one that we took the black out from Vivid Rip. The one on the right-hand side is the one that was done through the internet on a free software. Now, the one that was done on the free software, it didn't remove as much black. It really removed only the black that was out in the periphery, but there was a little bit here that it left behind, so there's a little bit of whitewash behind it. And overall, I mean, it looks pretty good. The one that was done on Vivid Rip, it really took out all the black. Now, we could have dialed it down, but I went 100% remove all the black. So whatever black was inside, it took everything out. For a free design where nobody had to touch it and you just got it from the internet, printed it and dated it, it looks pretty good. Now, it is recommended that what you could do is once you have the design that you want, you could then send it to a graphic designer to just have them convert it from this type of file to a CMYK file so it really prints with the right colors, because these colors are also a little bit more subdued because it was not in CMYK. Since I have all the resources right at my disposal, I could not help but take this image to Rob, had him process the image for me, and turning it from a 72 DPI image to 300 DPI, also enhancing the colors and turning it into a TIFF so I could print it on my CMYK printer. Check it out. If you're looking for more inspiration on your next printing project or want some more advice, make sure to check us out on Facebook and join our embroidery and printing business help group. Lastly, let us know if you have any comments or tips that you'd like us to feature on the next episodes of Ricoma Prints. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one.